Mounce, BBG, chapter 21. Before we jump into the sentences, I just wanted to share with y'all some of the ideas that I have around this verb inflection practice paradigm. You'll notice in terms of the columns, I left you a shot at filling it in, printing it out as many times as you like and filling it in with whatever verb you happen to be thinking about / working on. Beyond that, I wanted to give you just a couple of hopefully helpful hints. And I'm sorry the screen size has changed, but I was trying to get this entire chart on the screen, so hopefully it's large enough for everybody to be able to work with. What I would tell you is obviously you need to memorize each section of the quadrant individually and recognize them individually. But beyond that, what I would tell you is that you're going to help yourself if you take some time just to think about the relationships that exist between the four quadrants. First and foremost, I know people have trouble with the active versus the passive, but in terms of looking at these quadrants, what I would tell you is what's above that middle line is above and dominant and active, so to speak, versus what's below the line or underneath or submissive, which is passive. So, tie those ideas together in your brain any way you like, but hopefully that will help you remember that those things below the line are passive and those things above the line are active. So that line is a big split there. Beyond that, I would tell you that what you'll notice both above the line and below the line are that the first and second person plural in both cases, both the two parts above the line and the two parts below the line, they're exactly the same. So, that hopefully is a big help to you to recognize that really the only difference between the left and the right is that augment, because again, the difference between the primary and the secondary in every case is simply that secondary is the augment. Primary doesn't have the augment. Secondary has the augment. So secondary, you're adding one to the primary, and that one that you're adding is that augment. So, like I said, if any of those ideas help you remember, great. You'll also notice that I color-coded all of this, like Mounce has, to include not only the connecting vowel, but the ending. That will help you, especially in areas like this, where you have the the secondary active endings, which I memorize as NS null men to N, but again, you memorize it any way you like. The trick there is with this third singular ending, you technically don't have an ending, but you quite often have this movable nu. So what will help you there is recognizing that when you see this epsilon before that movable nu, you only have one option. You only have one option. You got an augment, you got an epsilon nu. It can only be third singular because technically the only reason this is an epsilon is because there's technically no ending. And then they're just tacking on that movable nu. So hopefully that'll help you distinguish this third singular from the first singular and the third plural, which are the same, but both have an omicron as the connecting vowel, which is standard if it's before a nu. So hopefully those ideas will help you as well, especially when it comes to this third singular, because you're going to run into that. Third singular is so common in the New Testament. You're going to want to know that. Other than that, I think most of these, especially all those in the passive, they kind of carry a theme. So you have my side tie, methes, the end tie, where your alpha iota are your thematic endings, and I use that as in terms of just having sort of a common theme. That runs through 4 of your 6 forms, and the other 2 are common. The other 2, they have them in common. So that should help you, because then all you're worried about is the whether or not it has an augment or not. And here, main so to, methos the ento, 3 out of the 6 have that common theme of the omicron there at the ending. So hopefully, again, those kinds of things will help you as you work through this, because it's going to be critical that you memorize this entire paradigm. Is going to be a big deal over time to help you recognize what you're looking at.